Forewarned weather with Ashlee Baracy.
Well, if you haven't opened the door, the window yet, you might be a little surprised. It's a chillier start to the morning, falling about 15 to 20 degrees over the last 24 hours, meaning we are right at the freezing mark in Ann Arbor. Bundle up as you send those kids to the bus stop. 34 degrees in Lapeer, 34 in Port Huron. So the farther north and west you go, you likely have some patchy frost. Heart of the metro area, low to mid 40s to start the day, which really won't amount to much frost formation, but it's still on the cooler side. Out the door forecast. So seasonal 60s today. We're going to repeat that on Friday, though. Tomorrow morning, we could be dodging a few raindrops. Better chance for rain for the second half of the weekend. Now, before we get to that rainmaker come Sunday, we have 70s returning on Saturday. And so it will be a warmer start to the weekend with kind of a turbulent end. Bus stop forecast for today, calm. In fact, you don't need the rain gear, but you do need the extra layers. So 30s to around 40 for pickup. By the time kids are dropped off this afternoon, about 65 degrees, and you might not be able to find a cloud in the sky with high pressure clearing out any cloud cover. So blue skies, sunglasses will be a necessity. Clouds and radar forecast. Let's talk you through Friday morning as we do have a couple scattered rain chances before we even get to daybreak. That was a little snapshot around 4 a.m. and another snapshot just before 9 a.m. I would say about 10 or so. A lot of this is going to fizzle out. So kind of a similar time frame to yesterday where you get that nuisance rain and then we dry things out. Saturday, I can't rule out an isolated shower or storm given just the warmth that we're going to have, some breezy conditions, but Sunday's the better day that we can at least chisel away from the deficit in rain that we have had. So drought monitor showing dry conditions south of M59, north of that corridor, especially in the Thumb. We're looking at some moderate drought across the area. Saginaw Valley, some severe drought. So clouds and radar. Here's that Friday morning passing shower. You can see it here with a more regional view. And then we push that out of here. We will have some rain building in by Saturday night after sunset, and then the heavier stuff starts to roll in even before daybreak on Sunday. And we hold on to rain chances throughout a good chunk of the day. So Saturday is the pick day of the weekend. Let's squeeze in college football, and hopefully we don't have to, use the poncho or anything like that. But we do have that slight chance for a shower to develop. But otherwise, mid-60s for the noon kickoff in the Big House and 70s by game's end. But let's really dive into Sunday's forecast. Maybe you have flag football with the kids or soccer games. Well, we're going to have widespread rain chances on Sunday, really throughout much of the day. And some early projections have us about 3/4 of an inch, but there are other models that have us upward of 1.5 inches. So we could get quite a bit of rain come Sunday, and we're pairing it with really gusty winds, upward of 30 miles per hour. So it'll be wet and windy as temperatures tumble into the 60s. But 70 Saturday, 60 Sunday, and then we'll be right around 60 degrees starting early next week with increasing rain chances next Tuesday.
I shared that I was a domestic violence victim while I was in college, that someone I was dating in college, and I told them, I never talk about this. But people who know me know whenever we talk about domestic violence, I'm always very, it's triggering for me. And so I shared that, and they encouraged me to share it more. But it's so much work that's being done. And as we were talking about in our last hour, Darnell, it really is about, informing boys and girls at young ages, what domestic violence looks like, what the warning signs are, so that you can make decisions right away to avoid it.
And to report it.
Yeah.
And to report it. Oftentimes, they, victims don't report because they feel like it's their fault. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's important to report it more than anything.
I'm glad you said boys and girls, because to teach all of them,
Absolutely.
Kudos to everybody for sharing this.
And just to know that there's so many resources out there. We have them on clickondetroit.com, and I think for a lot of people, they don't even know help is out there that can pick you up, comfort you, and help you every step of the way to protect you and to get you back to a normal life again.
Yeah, because that's the most dangerous part when you're trying to get that last step of help.
Yeah, and to get out.
Congratulations again,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Oh, I didn't show the award, but
well, let's do that.
There it is.
As we transition to a weather forecast for the weekend, what have you to say, Ms. Baracy?
Well, it really depends on when your outdoor plans are, whether you're dodging rain or not. And so we'll make sure that you're prepared for that. Let's go ahead and start by taking a live look at downtown Detroit with crystal clear blue skies. And so we will have sunshine throughout the day today, thanks to high pressure. 40 degrees in the city, 32 in Ann Arbor. So it's a little chilly out in Washtenaw County this morning, where you're waking up at the freezing mark, where likely some patchy frost has developed as well. 38 degrees in Pontiac, 39 in Monroe, with a very light northerly breeze out there. So your official sunrise time just about 10 minutes away at 7:48. Sunset at 6:49 for tonight. out the door forecast. So what you need to know just to kind of prepare you for this Friday Eve and through the weekend. Seasonal 60s, not just today, but through your Friday. We do warm into the 70s by your Saturday. And then we have rain chances returning for the weekend, mainly the second part of the weekend where it's going to be wet and windy on your Sunday. So we'll dive in the details in just a moment. But here's your planner for today. 61 degrees around the lunch hour, 65 for the afternoon high. So that's why I said pretty seasonal, feeling like mid-October today, though we kind of feel like we're bouncing back to September by Saturday with those 70s making a comeback. Clouds and radar forecast. So we do have a chance for rain Friday. This isn't a washout by any means. The best way I can describe it, it's much like yesterday morning where you were dealing with some scattered light rain showers throughout, the morning hours, and then we dried things out in the afternoon. And so by the time we get to 4 or 5 a.m., some rain develops and sticks with us until I would say probably about 10 a.m. Probably holding on to a little more cloud cover tomorrow afternoon compared to yesterday afternoon when that sunshine built back in. But Saturday, we'll start the day a little drier, but then we have the chances for rain increasing Saturday night as a stronger low moves in. Now, here's the silver lining with it. I know that it doesn't time out well with the weekend, but we can start to chisel away at our rainfall deficit as we have drought conditions across southeastern Michigan. So the first bout of rain, that Friday morning shower or two, that's probably not going to amount to a whole lot. We push that out of here, but watch what happens come Sunday. So we start to see the widespread rain Saturday night going into Sunday morning, but that heavier stuff will be building in throughout the day on Sunday. And that's going to lead to some, I would say, significant rainfall totals. We'll get to the projections in just a moment, but with that on tap Sunday, that means one thing: Saturday, pick day of the weekend. So Michigan Wolverines taking on Washington Saturday, noon kickoff at the Big House. Planned for about 65 degrees at kickoff, 70s by game's end. I won't rule out an isolated chance for rain, but I think overall just partly to mostly cloudy. And there will be a breeze, 20-mile-per-hour gust, but coming out of the south will be a warm breeze. Rain chances widespread throughout the day on Sunday. And so Sunday is just kind of an icky day. How do you like that for a scientific term? But your rainfall forecast, about 3/4 of an inch. With this projection, I will say there are some models that have almost double this amount. So I think we get a good soaker on Sunday. It'll be wet. It'll be windy. Wind gusts will be upward of 30 miles per hour throughout the day on Sunday. So your 7-day forecast shows that we get that warm up Saturday, 76. And worth noting, by the Ohio state line, we could have some areas flirting with 80, but we will be falling back in the 60s with that rain Sunday. We dry things out on Monday. So if you're doing some tailgating for the Lions game, 60 for the high, and we will have a chance for rain coming back next Tuesday.
Well, one of our floor directors here in that hour said that really puts in perspective when you think you've got problems and you're upset at work or you're upset about something. That puts it all in perspective.
100% certainly does. Yeah. We are certainly keeping the Zay family in our hearts, and the Zay family by.
All right, let's get to Doug Hyde in today's Hollywood Minute. It was. That was a heck of a good show at Pine Mountain and went last summer all the way back. So that's been a long tour.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you give up on Van Halen's never. Eddie's dead, so there's no Van Halen reunion. But Michael Anthony and Sammy together is pretty close.
And the music still lives on, that's for sure. Nick is here to preview. You have a lot coming up in the 8 o'clock hour.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Jason's going to fill most of the time. Actually, our roundtable, good conversation about last night's mayoral debate, who won, who lost. What can we expect? It's actually now just 2 weeks before the election, 2 weeks and a day, I think. And today is a special day for Detroit sports icons, 2 of them. Why October 16th means something special to both Gordie Howe and Joe Louis, both of them, but for 2 different reasons.
I like this. I'm intrigued.
Any guesses, Darnell Blackburn?
Birthdays. That's just random.
I mean, that's a good guess.
Reasons.
2 different reasons.
But it's way major than that, Although
I was
birthday's
like,
pretty major.
It's major.
I had to check the date. I'm like, his number's number 9, was it? But it's the 16th. That can't be it.
Well, that's why you have to stick around for the 8 o'clock hour when Nick will have those stories and more.
Do you know? No. No. He doesn't have a clue, right?